After our visit to Cap Ferret, we take advantage of the sunny day for exploration of the Arcachon Bay and its surroundings. On the agenda, oyster tasting, a visit to the summer and winter cities of the town of Arcachon, and finally, a sunset at the Dune du Pilat, the largest sand dune in Europe. Around the bay, the port and oyster villages are part of the scenery, each possessing its own charm and personality. People come to savor fresh oysters right on the edge of the bay at the oyster farms. We stroll along the colorful huts, and it's a real feast for the eyes. There are numerous oyster ports all around the bay, and for good reason. The Arcachon Bay is a favorable place for oyster cultivation because it's 155 square kilometers at high tide, experience the constant ebb and flow of the tide, giving this water reserve exceptional nutritional richness. The daily renewal of its waters allows for the production of 7,000 tons of oysters annually. It drops to 40 square kilometers of submerged space at low tide. There are numerous oyster ports and huts scattered throughout the Arcachon Bay. And moreover, Cap Ferret holds the record for the highest number of huts per square meter. There are many other places, each with its own charm, like Gujan-Mestras, which is the oyster capital of the Arcachon Bay and has no less than 7 ports. In the past, people came here for sea baths, and 2 establishments were popular in this regard. They have now disappeared, but the adjacent ports with their walkways, dikes and jetties are still there. We also discovered Arras, which offers a different panorama. A stroll on the dike also allows you to appreciate the view of the northern tip of the Arcachon Bay and the enchanting landscapes of the Présalines Natural Reserve. You've probably guessed it, you will have plenty of choice. But today, we decided to stop at the Otange port, which is a typical port of the Arcachon Bay, with its wooden cabins and pinnaces. There is a succession of brightly colored cabins that house oyster farmers and fishermen, and they offer pleasant terraces where we will enjoy some oysters from the bay in peace before visiting the town of Arcachon this afternoon. After this tasting, we arrive at Arcachon, the city of 4 seasons. Each of the different neighborhoods in the city has its own charm and uniqueness. We find the autumn city with its deep-water marina, the spring city, where you can find the Basilica of Notre Dame and the Mariners' Chapel, the Church of Notre Dame des Passes, and Pereire Beach. The summer city is the city center of Arcachon, which we will visit just after the winter city. And what better way to start than with the Sainte-Cécile Observatory, which will offer us a panoramic view of the bay and the city. On our way, we take the time to admire these majestic villas, like the Villa Alexandre Dumas, built in 1895, which blends Italian and Spanish influences. And for those wondering, it was named not because a famous writer lived there, but simply because its owner was an unconditional fan of the author. leave the observatory, passing through the St. Paul footbridge. And we enjoy the enchanting landscapes. This part of Arcachon is renowned for its elegant 19th century villas, and it's easy to see why, given the incredible architecture. The neighborhood was developed by the brothers Émile and Isaac Pereire, who observed an influx of wealthy patients to Arcachon. We continue our exploration of the neighborhood and arrive at the Moresque Park. Created under the Second Empire by the Southern Railway Company on 4 hectares of pine and sand, this park was ceded to the town of Arcachon in 1879. It takes its name from the Moorish-inspired casino opened in 1863 for the entertainment of patients and vacationers. In place of casino, which caught fire in 1977, there is a magnificent pinnace boat symbolizing the Arcachon Bay. The only reminder of the existence of the Moorish casino is a model next to the elevator. The garden is a work of landscape architects Frusic and Claverie. It was transformed into an arboretum in 1992, and the original design of the park was respected. To this landscape ensemble are added a small 19th century kiosk, a children's garden, a pétanque court, and an open-air theatre where events take place. Many vegetation species, such as palm trees, ginkgos, liquid amber, and maritime pines can be found here. A rose garden was also created in 1987. We head to the summer city and take the elevator, which replaced the funicular and connects the winter city to the summer city, which is the waterfront district and the center of Arcachon.
You think that what we're fighting about is stupid. Just cause you don't agree don't mean it's stupid.
Numerous shops are found there, and the district has been completely transformed into a beautiful seaside town over the last 20-30 years. We head towards the waterfront and explore streets and alleys. We discover the beautiful town hall building, and the market square located just behind.
I'm feeling some type of way. You might have just pushed me away. You fucked up forever, cause I just wanted some.
A few meters away, there is a beautiful sandy beach, which is the main beach of the city. It's located between the Erac Pier and the Croix des Marins Pier, around the Thiers Pier. While it may not be the ideal place for surfers, it's perfect for families, children, and swimmers, as the Arcachon Bay protects from the strong waves and currents of the Atlantic Ocean. From the piers, you can participate in various boat excursions, such as a trip to the Bay of Cap Ferret or a boat excursion to see the fishing cabins on stilts, the cabane chanquée that we had observed during our visit to Cap Ferret. A little further on, you will find the beaches of the Spring City, such as the Pereire Beach, Abbey Shores Beach, and Mulot Beach, this last one being more suitable for surfing and windsurfing, as it's no longer sheltered by the bay. And if you continue walking on the other side, you find yourself in the small port of Arcachon. We walk for a while on Boulevard Vernier-Monanière, which runs along the beach and is a well-known area for lunch in one of the many waterfront restaurants. After this pleasant visit to the city of Arcachon, it's time to head towards the Dune du Pilat. Located on the Silver Coast on the edge of the Landes de Gascogne forest massif, it's the highest sand dune in Europe. Its name comes from the Gascon word pilat, derived from the Latin pila, meaning heap or mound. It rises to a height of 103 meters and stretches 616 meters wide and 2.9 kilometers long. It contains approximately 55 million cubic meters of sand. On the east side, the dune encroaches on the forest massif, burying trees at a rate of 1 to 5 meters per year. The Dune du Pilat is asymmetrical, with a slope that varies depending on its position relative to the wind. Thus, the wind-exposed side of the dune, west face, ocean side, is gentle, ranging from 5 to 20 degrees, as the sand spreads during their ascent to the top. In contrast, the forest-sheltered face, east face, is steeper, between 30 and 40 degrees. And it's on this side that we are heading to the top of the dune.
It happened again. All of my friends drift away. Now
The formation of the dune is closely linked to that of the banc d'Arcachon.
drift away. And once again, all of
Over the centuries, marine currents have carried sand from the open sea, the coast, and the bay when the tide recedes to form the banc d'Arcachon, which, like the dune, is in constant evolution. Then, strong west winds from the open sea tear sand grains from its surface with the help of microdroplets of water at low tide when it's completely exposed, settle on the dune to form this gigantic mass of fine sand. The Grand Dune du Pilat was built between 1826 and 1922 as the coastline receded more than 500 meters. The vegetation that covered the windward slope of the dune was destroyed, allowing for the drifting and transport of sand to the top of the dune. The notoriety of the highest dune in Europe has only grown in recent decades. Nearly 2 million visitors climb to its summit every year, making it one of the most visited natural sites in France, alongside Mont-Saint-Michel Bay. Once at the top of the dune, we settle on the fine sand and enjoy a picnic and a magnificent sunset. See you soon for new discoveries.
it happened again.